defenders, I think, it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man. Come on. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you for tuning in each and every time. Now, Osimhen, Ramsdale, and all other transfer shenanigans are plenty on Google as we head into the January period. First thing before we begin, as usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're doing well and safe. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Smash the like button. I'm looking at you. I know you ain't hit that like button. It helps with the engagement. It don't cost you a lot of thing. And also get the creative juices flowing. Any comments, differences of opinions on things we cover, feel no sort of way about getting them in, people. And turn on your notification bell. Now, if I share my screen with you lot, I'm not going to lie. I'm quite tired of hearing about these transfer rumors, more so the Pedro Netos, the Osimhens, the Douglas Luizes, the Zubamendis, the Sescos, the Skolobets, the Delits. The list goes on. Nothing to do with the players. Would love them all if it was like FIFA. Don't know if we get them in the summer. I don't work for Arsenal, but it's pretty safe to assume we're not going to get any of that in January. As we hear, we're treading closely and lightly where FFP is concerned. So we have to get creative. We probably have to buy emerging players, cut price players, players that are in emerging markets and things like that. See what we can do where loans are concerned, etc., etc. But nonetheless, Mr. Simon Collins of the Standard, the Evening Standard, who covers mainly Arsenal in England, he says there, Arsenal have been scouting strikers. While they also want a winger, such a distance, however, may have to wait until the summer transfer window. Victor Osimhen has been scouted, but is not expected to leave until the summer. Pedro Neto is a long-term target. So, we saw this in The Athletic. Check out the video I did yesterday. I don't think there's anything new necessarily under the sun. I'm pretty sure everyone can safely assume, someone that can provide competition with Bukayo Saka and cover for him. Someone that maybe even can play on the left-hand side in a winger wouldn't go amiss. Obviously, the big one in the summer, and if you could in January, be a striker. I think where the January market's concerned, we probably need to bring in a defensive option, and we probably need to bring in a central midfielder. And we need to start looking for number 2 goalies, because this Ramsdale stuff is not going to persist. Apparently, Osimhen will want to play in the Champions League, and Chelsea, barring a miracle, won't be in it until at least 2025-26. Unlike Arsenal, however, people. Really? Why is that? Because isn't it the 24-25 season? Unless there's something to do with Chelsea that I don't know. In fact, wait. Well, yeah, it would make sense. Yeah, I just did the maths because obviously they won't be in it next season. So apologies, people. I didn't deep it. Now, I do think any player that signs for a top 6 club or any team in the Premier League, especially more so the top 6, you probably have to become accustomed to. There might be years where you're not in the Champions League. Arsenal have had that. It didn't necessarily stop us from attracting players. Obviously, the finances that goals with being in the Champions League is great. Everybody wants to play in that, and it does attract players. Obviously, Chelsea is being run like a circus at this moment in time, but it's still Chelsea Football Club. They still won big honours. Him as a Nigerian international, Chelsea have a lot of African supporters, and I'm sure Victor Osimhen grew up seeing the glory days of Didier Drogba, etc. So I wouldn't necessarily rule them out. But of course, if he wants to play in the Champions League, Arsenal at this moment in time is a more attractive club than Chelsea. We're all singing from the same hymn sheet. The players that are being identified, obviously they're all working. Mikel Arteta is being held currently in higher regard than Pochettino. It don't look good. But, if Arsenal have a wobbly season and Chelsea exceed expectations, whatever they have next season, where are you at with that, people? And I personally think they're on the offensive. But apparently he wants to play in the Champions League, which, barring a miracle, and until it's mathematically confirmed, we can't get excited. But you'd imagine Arsenal, Liverpool, and Liverpool, City, and Arsenal will all be in the Champions League for the 2024-25 season. TalkSport understands Aaron Ramsdale will be open to a move to St. James's Park this winter, and that could help any potential deal progress. Now, if I'm necessarily Newcastle, I would probably try to get Ramsdale on loan with a buy option. If I'm Arsenal, I'm only entertaining offers in January, which I don't think he should be allowed to leave in January if it's something too good to turn down, which would probably be 35 to 50 million. As I just said, we probably need a winger or a striker. January, the priority has to be defense and midfield. We need to sign a number 2 goalie anyways. Why would we want to accelerate that 6 months prior, really and truly? And we know David Raya can't play against Brentford at this moment in time, so Aaron Ramsdale's got at least 1 Premier League game. For me, it doesn't make sense, and it does make sense in that Newcastle, big club, new owners, Eddie Howe doing great things, good bunch of boys there, exciting club, exciting things are happening. The way Ramsdale G's up the crowd and stuff, I think the fans then will love him. So I'm not knocking the signing. But it doesn't make sense because he's been linked with Chelsea, whether he's better than these keepers or not. If he signed for Chelsea in January, at some point, you know, you're going to have Kepa, who, assuming Real Madrid don't take him permanently, Sanchez and yourself, all international starting kind of goalies. You go to Newcastle, obviously between you and Nick Pope, it's got to be made clear who's the number one. I don't know. Maybe Eddie Howe will rotate his keepers on a frequent basis, really. I think you've seen West Ham on occasion do that with Areola and Fabianski, but it'd be the same kind of thing. You know, he was linked with Wolves a while ago. In my opinion, that's kind of the angle. If I'm Aaron Ramsdale, I want to venture down and go down once again, people. So let me know your thoughts on Osimhen and Aaron Ramsdale. Fabrizio Romano makes claim on striker Arsenal want to sign. What specifically has Romano said on Benjamin Sesko, who apparently could be allowed to leave in January? The man himself, Fabrizio, has said, I see Sesko staying at Leipzig in January and maybe leaving in the summer. All the top European clubs are tracking him. It's normal. He's one of the best talents in the world. Nothing happening as it's not one for January. And he's just moved to Germany, people, and signed for Leipzig. They might say, let's make a quick profit. Obviously, he's excelled in the youth league. They bought him because they know he can help in the short and medium term and long term, be sold on for a profit. Man United tried to buy him in the summer. I would love him. I think he's got a lot of raw components. He's not really a starter right now, and he's not playing on a consistent basis. But I do think this 20-year-old has a big future, if I'm completely honest, and he'll probably showcase his talent in the Euros, people. Moving away from that, apparently Arsenal have sent scouts to monitor highly rated Moroccan winger who could provide competition for Martinelli, people. Apparently his name is Ibrahim Salah, the last winger that signed in the Premier League called Salah did all right. French outlet Lee 365 Sports says Arsenal have expressed interest in Ibrahim Salah, indicating the Gunners' quest for a wide attacker ahead of the January transfer window. We need wingers. We want to sign a winger. We're linked with Pedro Neto. We're linked with this guy. We're linked with others. So you want to go for those top targets. If that doesn't work out, we want to find someone that can break into that bracket and might not, depending on the finances available, might not break the bank. So it doesn't shock me that we're scouting a 23-year-old playing for a club like Rennes, where there's gold there to be found in France, whether they're French internationals or players playing there. It doesn't really shock me. I don't think there's an impending move. Obviously, I don't know anything, people. When I hear Moroccan winger, Moroccans, Algeria, that kind of side of Africa, anyone that's seen the players playing the professional game or played down the park with lads from these countries, they're lit on the ball. They're all technically good. They play with a swagger. So I can imagine he's no different. And at 23, it's now time to start showing your quality, but it's also time to develop to the next level. So if he's an emerging talent, why not, really and truly, people? He's yet to make his senior debut for Morocco. No clue as to why that's the case. He just signed from Belgian club Gent to Rennes this January, people, 2023, and what's left. So we'll have to see. He's got 5 goals in 15 appearances. So it's probably more of a scouting thing. Once again, allegedly, Aaron Ramsdale is reportedly keen to leave Arsenal and join Premier League rivals Newcastle in January. It doesn't make sense for me to let you go. If you want to go there in the summer, do your thing. He would cost 50 million if he was to move in January. I'm on that, assuming we've begun the quest and the search to go and look for a number 2 goalie. That's got no relevance here. I was just spreading Declan Rice propaganda. We did cover the Athletic article, but couple more important bits for you lot to go over. Don't forget to smash the like button. There are no developments expected in January regarding the pursuit of Douglas Luiz. The same is true of long-term target Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal would look at a loan if an appropriate midfield candidate becomes available, but a marquee midfielder is unlikely. Probably what we don't want to hear. Timber's recovery is progressing well, but he's not expected back anytime soon. We wish him the best. Arsenal remain interested in Pedro Neto, while a wide forward is on Arsenal's mid-term to-do list. It has been overtaken by more immediate priorities for January. The same could arguably be said of a centre forward. Arsenal hope to recruit a new striker in 2024, although that is more likely to be on the summer agenda, people. We have been linked, apparently. Our long-term defensive targets are Nico Schollerbeck of Dortmund, and our coaching staff, as well as Mikel Arteta, also admire Deluded of Bayern Munich, people. Don't know what that would mean for Gabriel Saliba, but who knows. Apparently, Arsenal have been linked with Jarell Hatto, the 17-year-old, making headwinds over there at Ajax. Arsenal interested in Ajax's 17-year-old defender, Jarell Hatto. Arsenal believe Ajax's game model is... I analogous, whatever that means. I think that means synonymous to our own, hence Timber's swift adaptation. Hatto would not come cheap, however, and Arsenal may decide they need someone more experienced to help in the running. A short-term loan signing remains the most likely option. I would love him in January and I'd love him in the summer. Obviously, he's 17. He has captained Ajax, has got 1 cap for Holland. In terms of hitting the ground running immediately and helping us with the Premier League pursuit beyond being depth, I don't think that's a player that raises the curtains, but I think he's someone that will grow and thrive within Arsenal, and specifically under Mikel Arteta, people. So I will get it done. Arsenal have been working hard to control the FFP situation. The recent raft of contract extensions, for example, enables them to amortize players' costs over longer periods. With revenues rising this season, Arsenal are more likely to have some wiggle room when it comes to FFP, but just how much remains to be seen. And this article has just confirmed what we already knew, in that Arsenal have highlighted 3 positions to improve in January, according to sources. Apparently, the recruitment team have held internal talks over their January strategy, with the club targeting a new centre-back, central midfielder and a striker next month. I think we'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 of the 3. I don't think we'll get a striker. Well, you can technically buy a striker, but a striker that makes us fans sit there and go, wow, we're serious. Not that we're not serious, but yeah, that ER going to move the needle. I can't see it happening. We still have an interest allegedly in Paulinho. He's rated at 50 million plus at 28 years of age. I don't know if Arsenal will be queuing up for that. Eddie Nketiah has been linked with a 40 million pound move to West Ham. I would only let him go in the summer because I don't feel a striker is arriving. But with that being said, that is everything we've discovered, people. Smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't. Merry belated Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. Appreciative to my regular supporters who are always here. If you're new, subscribe. Make sure you're turning on your notifications and don't get away without hitting the like button, people. And at this time of making a vid, I'm going to be doing a watch along for Arsenal West Ham, so make sure you join me there. Peace.
There's always just that active red light defending. I think it's like